This changes everything for the Dallas Cowboys, as Jaydon Blue has been putting in that work this offseason, and with the running back room wide open for an RB1, Blue will have a major impact on this year's Cowboys team. We'll show you those workout videos and tell you why Blue has such big potential with the Cowboys right here on Cowboys Digest. Welcome in, everybody. We are glad you are here. Now, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we've noticed that 86% of you who watch these videos are not yet subscribed, and we're covering the Dallas Cowboys 365 days a year. You're not going to want to miss any updates we have for you. The running back room for the Dallas Cowboys is certainly an interesting one in this upcoming season. Free agents Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders have signed with the Dallas Cowboys, and right now are listed as RBs 1 and RB2, Javonte being the RB1 at this current time, even though Miles Sanders is more of a veteran presence. Now, however, there has been talks, and I am one of those people, saying that neither of these guys are worthy of an RB1 position. Yes, Javonte Williams showed flashes of it with Denver, and he looked really good in college at UNC, but it just really hasn't translated that well to the NFL. In comes Jaydon Blue, and I believe he could have a huge impact on this year's Cowboys team and potentially take over that RB1 slot. Now, we have kind of talked about him in previous videos, and I've said the same sentiment that the RB1 position is open, and Jaydon Blue has every right and has a lot of the intangibles to go out there and take it. Well, then we got this report today that the Dallas Cowboys rookie is turning heads in a, quote, explosive summer workout video as he looks to try and take over this running back room and make himself a presence in the Dallas Cowboys offense. Now, it is interesting to look at Jaydon Blue because obviously at Texas we watched a lot of film on him and kind of see that he is an explosive presence, but he continues to build and work on that, and that's where the report goes here. Matt Galazin of Dallas Cowboys SI says, quote, "In fact, in a recent video posted to social media, Blue can be seen working out with his trainers while showing his extreme impressive quickness, speed, and explosiveness during his drills." Now we'll show you these videos. Don't blink, he is pretty fast in this. If you look at the first drill, you can kind of see him working on making sure he cradles that ball, working on his quick cuts, and using to dodge those little tennis balls with his coach, and racing down the field, kind of using that quick feet. Now, the second drill is kind of more interesting to me because he is a receiving back. And so in the second drill that we're going to show you here, he really kind of uses that receiving switch of direction. You see, he grabs the ball and turns on one foot. The ability to do that is something that you don't see a lot in NFL players, or rather, you don't see a lot in NFL running backs, you probably should say, as catching a ball and then turning the other way is a huge part of being a running back, and Jaydon Blue has that. I'm excited to see the potential he could show for the Dallas Cowboys, and again, I mentioned Miles Sanders, I mentioned Javonte Williams. The reason this is so big to me and why Jaydon Blue is a key piece that I'm watching throughout the offseason is because these stats do not impress me for Javonte Williams. His rookie season was great, 903 yards. He had a long of 49 and 4 touchdowns. You're thinking, okay, this kid's got some. He's going to come out here and become an NFL running back and be a solid one. Then injuries kind of took its toll in 2022 when he only played 4 games. Still averaged 4.3 yards per rush, which is, again, above league average. But when he came back, he just wasn't the same. 16 games played in 2023 with 217 carries, which was more than he had in 2021, but only 774 yards, 3 touchdowns, and just not exactly the same, especially when you talk about this past year, which he kind of had his running back role taken away in some ways, only having 139 carries and 513 yards, although he still had 4 touchdowns, matching his career high in this past season. And I do want to stop and say that Javonte Williams has a lot that he could have. There's a potential there with him too. However, I see more potential with Jaydon Blue than I do with Javonte. Now, for Miles Sanders, personally, I think he is more of just a veteran role to try and help out what is a very young running back room. You talk about the guys on here. You're talking Jaydon Blue, rookie. You're talking Deuce Vaughn and Phil Maffa, both those guys, very young. And then you have Javonte Williams, who they say veteran, and running backs are so fluid in this league that 4 years does make you, quote-unquote, a veteran running back. However, he's still only 4 years out of college, so I don't know if I get that. Where Miles Sanders, an extra couple years with Carolina, and they weren't great, but listen, 3 seasons ago, he was a 1,000-yard rusher. In fact, a 1,200-yard rusher, I should say. 12,000 would have been freaking crazy, but The big thing with Jaydon Blue brings that I don't really see with Javonte Williams or Miles Sanders is the receiving back potential. And that's a little bit of why he is expected to play a major role. We go back to the article here from Matt Gallazan of Dallas Cowboys SI, saying, quote, next season with Dallas, he is expected to play a major role in both the passing game and the running game. With the Cowboys in desperate need of a bell cow running back, they also have many weapons as a passing game. They could use him as a how to use him in that way. So I personally see him as a very good two-down back. I would like to see him out there at the third down every single time, especially anytime it's 3rd and 5 or longer. He's going to be out there because it's going to be a receiving situation, and he's the best receiving back that we have, in my opinion. And overall, if you look at his stats over in Texas in this past season, he proves that. His running game is grown and grown and grown since his freshman year in 2022. He had 33 yards and 15 carries, averaging 2.2. And then the crazy thing is his averages over his past 2 seasons. 6.1 average yards per rush in 2023 and a 5.4 average yards per rush in 2024. I know it's college and it's different, but those averages in the NFL would put him at like the top of the league type things. 8 touchdowns this past season, 730 yards. And again, the receiving is so big. 42 receptions this past season for 368 yards and an 8.8 average on those receptions, having 1 receiving touchdown over his entire college career. He did have a 45-yard touchdown reception as well with Texas. Again, I have mentioned the running back room a lot over the past 3, 4, 5 weeks as we get closer to the preseason, because when I'm going to be watching these preseason games, that's a positional group that I'm going to be looking at, because there's not a guy that's going to go on the field that I'm going to be like, oh, I don't want to watch. I'm like, with all respect to Will Grier, I'm not going to care once he gets out there. I'm going to want to watch Joe Milton when he comes in for Dak Prescott. But when Will Grier gets out there, I'm okay. You're not going to play. I don't care as much. Same can kind of be said for the offensive line. I'm looking at the backups, but nothing crazy. Wide receiver, same way. I got a couple of guys I'm looking at in the second string, but past them, it's not much. Whereas the running back room, no matter who they put on that field, I'm excited to watch. If it's Javonte Williams, I want to see what he's got from, coming off a year where he had his RB1 role taken away and now signing a contract with the Cowboys. What does he look like? Miles Sanders, he's had a tough 2 years in Carolina. Does he need just a change of scenery? Because he was so good 3 years ago. Past that, Jaydon Blue, exactly what I'm talking about. I want to see his receiving abilities. I want to see his running abilities. And then even go further, Deuce Vaughn, Phil Maffa, the guy from NDSU, I'm losing his name right now. But either way, there's a bunch of guys on this running back room that I am really excited. Lipke, that's the guy's name from NDSU. Hunter Lipke, that's what it is. Either way, I'm excited to see everybody in the running back room and really see if there's somebody that emerges as an RB1. Because right now, it is Jaydon Blue. Or not Jaydon Blue, but rather Javonte Williams, which is an exciting thing. I mean, I think he could come here and perform well. But at the same time, I would like to see if Jaydon Blue could take over. Now, we do have one last report to kind of talk about here from, this is the wrong one. This is the one. Matt Gallazan of Dallas Cowboys SI saying, quote, does his consistency in the ground game need to improve? 100%. And does he need to continue to develop in other areas of being a running back? Absolutely. He's a rookie after all, but if he can continue that type of production in the NFL with Dallas's early on, it could help provide Dak Prescott with another explosive weapon and give the Cowboys a much more explosive attack overall. And that's where I open up the conversation to you, Cowboys fans. What exactly do you think of Jaydon Blue? Do you think he is going to be an RB1? Do you think he is good enough for this Cowboys team to jump in there and fight for an RB1 position? Or are you excited to see a Javonte Williams? Are you excited to see a Miles Sanders maybe take over that role? Either way, I've talked a lot about a potential trade for the Cowboys in the running back room, but the closer we get to the season, the more I kind of take a step back and think, okay, they have 3 guys that in theory could all be RB1s. None of them are that right now, but they could be. And so I'm going to wait. And if we get down later in the season and, Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams aren't doing it and Jaydon Blue still looks like a rookie out there, maybe then you think about a trade. But right now I'm kind of like, okay, let's see what happens, especially watching the videos again. I'll show you one more time from Jaydon Blue. I'm just looking at the idea of this Dallas Cowboys offense, and seeing Dak Prescott throw to Jaydon Blue and watching his change of direction and thinking, okay, this could be a really good offense. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section about all of this. Are you excited to see Jaydon Blue? And man, I'm very excited to see what the Cowboys do here in the preseason because, as I said, there's a couple positions that I'm going to be watching very, very heavily to see if they'll make the roster. Linebackers also a group that I'm going to be watching, along with the secondary because of the injury. So preseason's like literally this month. Like the first preseason game I think is July 31st. Like we are like. This is me being delusional, but we're in football season. We're in the football season month. We're not. We're getting close. We're a month or so away from it truly kind of settling in here, and I can't wait. I can't wait. We appreciate all you watching, and for now, we'll see you next time here on Cowboys Digest. Peace out, everybody.